Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to be taking a look at what I can pretty much only describe as an absolutely mind-blowing update to Xenia, this Xbox 360 emulator. So many of you would have seen my coverage of this 360 emulator about 3 to 4 weeks ago. I would say was the last time, maybe even longer ago, that I took a look at any of the Halo games, or any games indeed, running on this emulator for the PC platform. So as you can see in gameplay footage right now, they have basically completely fixed any of the performance issues we were having in this game and many other games on this emulator. In this video, however, I'm going to be concentrating on literally one of my favorite games of all time, especially from a multiplayer's perspective, Halo 3. Now, while obviously we're not going to be able to play the Halo 3 multiplayer, at least at this point in time, due to the fact that Xenia Emulator, while it does have some kind of LAN support, it does not have any online support, meaning you're not really going to be able to play online games with your friends right now. So you would have seen in my previous video that pretty much 90% of the time when you were playing it for the very first time, you would have this absolutely unplayable amount of stutter that would bring the game to a halt for probably 14 to 15 seconds at a time. And while yes, you could just replay the level again a second time and you would not have this stutter, it really did not make for the best gameplay experience and kind of spoiled the game in and of itself. In any of the gameplay footage you're going to see in this video, I am playing this for the very first time, not using any disc-based shader cache or anything of that sort, and the game is just this smooth. And as you can see in my frame indicator in the top corner of this window, we are basically being locked to 30 or 31 frames per second. So as you have no doubt seen in this gameplay, there are still some graphical issues, especially so with this weird overlay thing that happens when there are explosions on screen. Now, it's not all explosions, it seems to be only very specific events that trigger this graphical error. The things that I have found to cause it are jackal shields, the shields that brutes drop, and the explosion that happens from when a wraith tank actually fires its main cannon. Some other smaller graphical issues that you probably have noticed right now are the fact that many of the weapons do not have their bullet or projectile tracers, and some of the weapons, for example rocket launchers, pretty much all of the explosive weapons and many of the rifles in the game do not have their tracers rendered when you fire them. But just look at how well the game is rendered and performing. Now, this area is a very taxing scene. There are tons of enemies in this area, there's tons of things happening, and we are still being locked to an almost perfect 30 frames per second. I wouldn't say it's even an almost perfect 30 frames per second, I would say it is indeed a perfectly locked 30 frames per second. You can see exactly what I'm talking about when I fire either the sniper rifle or this BR. It is basically not showing the tracer. You can see where usually when you fire the sniper rifle it would leave this big massive tracer of white smoke. It is not currently rendered at this point in time. Utilization wise and performance wise, you can also see that my 8700K, while yes is a very strong CPU, is only being used around 21%, and my GTX 980 Ti is only being used around 35 to 52% at any given time. The gameplay experience itself is pretty much a night and day experience to what I was showing off in my video, as I said, about a month ago, and this game is, I would almost dare to say, is fully playable. Now, there are certain issues. For example, when you go into the cutscenes in the game, there is very severe audio desync, and sometimes in some of the cutscenes the audio and music is completely sped up and basically completely illegible. But I have absolutely no doubt that the developers of this emulator are going to have those issues fixed 100% in the coming weeks and months. If you yourself have any questions at all about this or any other emulators, do not be afraid to join my Discord server. You will find a link for that down in the description. We will help you with absolutely any issues you could possibly have. And if you want to ask any more technical related questions, or if you yourself are a developer who wants to help out with Xenia itself, I will also list down in the description below a link to the official Xenia Discord also. So at the end of this video, I want to leave some gameplay footage that I think is really impressive in and of itself. So for anybody who played Halo 3 on the Xbox 360, you would indeed remember that the mission in which you have to retrieve Cortana from High Charity, I can't remember the name of the mission off the top of my head right now, but that mission itself on the Xbox 360 had some fairly severe performance dips. To show you just how much potential this 360 emulator has, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage with some performance overlays to show you a basically perfectly locked 30 frames per second gameplay experience in this exact same mission, where on its original platform it had very severe performance drops. So I'm going to leave you with this extended gameplay footage. Once again guys, cheers for checking out this video. Remember to like it if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. If there are any games at all that you want to see me test on this 360 emulator and cover it in a video, let me know down below in the comment section. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you want to see all future videos from me.
Chief, get me out of this place. I don't want to stay. I'll update your HUD as quickly as I can. collapsed. I'm looking for an alternate. Careful.
got a friendly contact. Who would be crazy enough to come in here? Wait, you two made nice? What else did you do?
Be careful.